situations. So we need to see a real change there in how we budget. The appropriations committees, we have appropriations committees. Unfortunately, they don't have much of a function in Springfield right now. They hear testimony, but they don't have a vote. And that's got to change. They've got to be much more involved. We all need to be more involved. And that's where we need to take some of that power back from the leadership that's down in Springfield. A couple people behind closed doors who are making these decisions really could change it. It's taken us a couple years to get into this situation that we're in. I've consistently voted against the budget because I've seen the irresponsibility that was part of it. And it's probably going to take us some time to get back out. I really honestly believe long-term, the real solution is tightening our belts in the meantime, and then vibrant economic growth. I did serve down in Springfield in 1999 and 2000, and we had a natural revenue growth here in the state of Illinois because of jobs growing. It wasn't that long ago, less than 10 years ago, you might remember, where people were moving jobs, just lateral moves, just because they thought, hey, maybe this would be a little bit better opportunity or something I'm a little bit more interested in. That seems like such a far thought right now of even a possibility of having lateral moves or that kind of opportunity. And yet we have that here in Illinois. I want to get that back. And I think there are ways that we can get that back. And as our economy starts growing again, there'll be some natural revenue growth. There'll be some more fiscal discipline that we'll have created because we've used this difficult time. I think that's something we need to say, that during difficult times, it's an opportunity to show leadership. Difficult, hard leadership. But that's why we're elected, and I think that's the process we want to be involved in and need to be involved in. And I do think if you get people from all over the state coming together with that priority of day one, that we are going to craft a budget that works for the people of Illinois, that doesn't burden our kids and our grandkids, and have that thought process that every decision we're making is this important enough for us to add this additional burden on for our kids and grandkids to be paying for this 20 or 30 years from now? I think we'd be able to really decide what are our priorities. The other side of it is there are absolutely, for people to say that there isn't waste in government is, it's laughable. We know there is. You know in your family that if you had to, if you absolutely had to, you could find some savings here and there. There's things that you could decide. When I talk to people who are in businesses, and you ask them if you absolutely had to find some money, could you? And almost everybody would say, yes, we could. We could find ways to do what we do in a more cost-effective way. And I absolutely know government has so much waste, so much money that's just spent without any accountability. And we need to get back to that of holding our directors responsible, of saying that we need you to find the waste, find areas where we can save money without hurting the people you're called most to serve. Find ways to find those cuts. And if we gave them that challenge and we really celebrated those who were able to do it, I think we'd see wonderful results. And if they can't do it, let's find somebody else who could. Let's find other directors who could do that type of work. And I'm so convinced that good things would happen. It would take us a little bit of time, but I know we can get out of this hole without putting a huge tax increase on families that can't afford it right now, or putting a huge debt burden, further debt burden on our kids going forward.
At this time, we are going to close the questions, and we're going to give you each a couple minutes to do some sort of closing words here. If I didn't ask your question and you really feel like you want to get it answered, please grab one of the legislators afterwards and ask them, because they're here to hear you and what you have to say and what your concerns are. Again, Hultgren? She's giving you the floor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you again for being here. It really is a privilege to be able to talk. I look forward to these type of opportunities to be with you, to hear what's important to you, to be able to better represent you, whether it's in Springfield or in Washington, D.C., to be able to hear what's important to you. And so I really appreciate you taking time to be a part of this, and I look forward to many more opportunities to be able to do that in the future. A couple challenges to, again, just stay involved, encourage people around you to get involved. This really does matter. We see what happens when good people aren't involved, when they stay home, when they don't vote. Things happen. We get people who serve in elected office that don't share our values, don't share our concerns, and don't represent us very well. We need people who are accountable to us, responsive to us. So thank you. Stay involved. Just to wrap up, I think it is such a privilege, and Kate talked about this as well. there's frustrating things going on in Springfield right now, but I still feel like every single day that I go into that state capitol, what a wonderful privilege it is for me to be able to represent the wonderful people of Illinois. I do see a bright future for Illinois. I think we are at a place where we've got so much opportunity going forward, as long as we have leaders that are helping to encourage that and get out of the way, like Kay said. I see it every day as I walk into Springfield. It really strikes me, and I know Kay feels this as well, that when I walk in, I feel like I've got 200,000 bosses that I report to. I work for you, I work for my constituents, and I think that's the right perspective to have. That this is a trust that you've given to me, and I want to hold that so carefully and protect it, and know that you've entrusted me with something to be your representative, to be your senator in Springfield. And I know Kay shares that as well. So thank you for that opportunity. We are humbled, we're privileged to be able to serve this great area. I'm excited about what's coming up, but we need your help to see some good changes both in Springfield and in Washington as well.